Hey girl, close the door because the streets are talking and it looks like people think they've figured out how Diddy got HIV. And trust me, what's being said is shocking. The rumor is that Diddy was once involved with influencer Gina Tew, and she's the one who gave him HIV. Wait, what? Just when it feels like the drama is over, something new always comes up, and this situation with Gina might be the biggest twist yet. So how did Diddy and Gina even meet? And is there a chance others were affected too? Let's break it down. Now, Gina speaking up isn't that surprising, because she's always been open about her health. Back in 2022, she told the world she had HIV, but at the time she didn't even know about it. Since it went untreated for years, it turned into AIDS. She explained, "I was so sick I almost died, and doctors said I must have had it for 8 to 10 years. During that time I lived in New York City, and I was even homeless. I also went through some things I don't like to talk about. And here's something important. Remember that New York part because it matters later." Since her announcement, Gina has posted updates about her journey, including one video where she wrote, "I lost all my muscle and strength because of my weak immune system, AIDS, and spending so much time in the hospital."
Including this video that she captioned, "I lost all my muscle and strength due to immune system, AIDS, and being in a hospital bed for so long."
This will be the last time that we stand. I don't know how long we've been here, but
Yeah, I got here probably about 20 minutes before you.
ready? One, two, three. Push through those legs. Come on, push, 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 push. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Push through those legs. Come on, do it. Push those legs. Anyway, not bad.
Not bad at all.
But the good news is that Gina has been fighting to get better. Not too long ago, she shared that her weight went up from just 65 pounds to over 100 pounds. She said, "Last time y'all heard I was 98 pounds, well now I'm 105. The doctor actually said 106, but I'm counting off 1 pound for my clothes and shoes. Either way, I made it. That was my goal weight." She's also walking on her own again and seems to be in a much better place. So, what does this have to do with Diddy? Well, people on the streets are saying that Diddy might also have HIV, and some even claim he could have been the one who gave it to Gina. Wild, right? The rumor really took off after Diddy went to prison. On the outside, he had access to top doctors, which made it easy to keep his viral load so low that nobody would notice anything. Back then, the talk was already around, but most people didn't believe it because Diddy looked perfectly healthy. Still, when you think about his lifestyle, it wouldn't be shocking if he picked up an STD. His wild parties, which people call freak-offs, are pretty well known, and not in a good way. Reports say they often got out of control, and it didn't always look like protection was used. With the way those parties went down, STDs were rumored to spread around like nothing, and let's not forget the gossip that Diddy allegedly gave Usher herpes. So, HIV being in the mix isn't exactly impossible. Once Diddy went to prison and didn't have access to his fancy doctors anymore, people started noticing a change. From the start of his trial, folks couldn't ignore how different he looked. Gone was the flashy, confident Diddy who lit up red carpets and walked around like he owned the world. Instead, he looked smaller, older, tired, like life had hit him hard. And this wasn't just a little stress weight loss. Something felt off. At first, people thought it was just the pressure of his legal issues. Anyone in his position would have been stressed out. But this felt like more than that. His glow, his energy, it was just gone. And as time went on, whispers grew louder, with more and more people saying the same thing. This wasn't just stress. Some people started to think something much deeper was going on. The quiet whispers turned into full-on talk. More and more folks began saying that Diddy's look wasn't just from stress or age. It might be tied to a serious health problem. And before long, one rumor took over, that Diddy could be dealing with HIV. The talk only grew louder when courtroom sketches of him hit the internet. Social media went crazy, zooming in on every detail of his face. People pointed out his sunken cheeks, tired eyes, and low energy that didn't match the Diddy everyone remembered. Fans compared those drawings and recent clips to older photos, and the change was clear. Even reporters sitting in the courtroom said he seemed off, not just drained from stress, but moving slow in a way that made people wonder. At that point, it wasn't just light gossip anymore. It became a big topic online, with both fans and critics asking what was really happening behind the scenes. And girl, when I say the internet exploded, I mean it went wild. People weren't just talking about Diddy's private life anymore. The real shock came when rumors spread that he might have exposed other celebrities to HIV during those wild freak-off parties. That's when things got messy, because the list of celebrities rumored to have been at those parties is long, and some of those names are huge in the industry. Once people started connecting the dots, it started to look like a major scandal. It wasn't just about Diddy anymore. The bigger question became, who else might have been involved, and who else might have been at risk? And the truth is, Hollywood already has that reputation, where everyone's linked to everyone in one way or another. Friendships, hookups, relationships, the lines are blurry. So if even a little bit of this rumor is true, the impact could be massive. People began questioning not only Diddy's health, but also the honesty and health of other big names in the business. Then Jaguar Wright stepped in and made things even worse. She didn't just say Diddy had HIV. She claimed he'd been living with it for years and that he wasn't the only one. According to her, at least 20 other men in the industry could be dealing with the same thing. That claim set the internet on fire. Suddenly people were digging up old interviews, rewatching videos, and looking at past appearances with fresh eyes, convinced they were spotting hidden clues.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
An advocate. No, he did do that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and would nobody be able to sue me?
The rumors only got bigger from there, and the internet went into full investigation mode. People started digging into Diddy's past relationships and industry ties, trying to figure out who else might be connected to this drama. One name that kept coming up was Usher. Fans quickly pointed out how close Diddy and Usher used to be, especially those old stories about Usher living with him when he was a teenager. With the new rumors flying around, all those old questions started resurfacing. But it didn't stop with Usher. Other names started being thrown in too. Meek Mill was mentioned a lot since he has been seen hanging around Diddy plenty of times in recent years. Then Craig Mack, who passed away in 2018 from what was reported as heart failure, was brought back into the conversation. People wondered if there might have been more to his story than what was shared at the time. Even Kim Porter's name came up. Her death was said to be caused by pneumonia, but fans have always felt something about that didn't add up. And then there's Gina Tew. Remember how she said she caught HIV in New York? Well, recently she confirmed that the person who gave it to her is a well-known celebrity based in New York, someone who lives a wild lifestyle. And honestly, nobody fits that description better than Diddy. Reports say Gina claimed she was sure the man who infected her was a celebrity she had been involved with on and off for years, and that she actually had feelings for him. She said she realized it after someone she knew showed her an interview with that celebrity. Watching it made her think back on her time with him and how she might have contracted the virus. She even mentioned that she had run-ins with the cops because of this man's behavior, and things he said in that interview made her look at the situation in a whole new way.
And I've dealt with cops over this person due to sexual conduct stuff that I thought was no big deal, so I brushed it off. But the fact that it's coming back to my face and they're telling me stuff about STDs and all this mess, and this man has been with me and everybody else doing the same thing with everybody else, And I don't know how to just brush it off anymore, because it's like, what if, what if this is the person who did this to me and he's living his best life? But hey, you can't have assumptions because it just makes an ass out of you and me. That's what they say. I'll never know. I'll never know, right? But I just don't like seeing stuff like that. I wake up and it ruins my whole day because I'm like, I don't think about this stuff for that reason, because I don't want to even, I can't do anything about it.
And when you look at all the things stacking up against Diddy, along with the old claims that he hid his STI status and even allegedly gave Usher herpes, it's sadly not that surprising that people believe he could have done the same to Gina. It's a heartbreaking situation. Share your thoughts in the comments and then make sure to check out the next video.